Today I'm going to be testing a narrowband oxygen sensor. And here it is. Ouch, it's still hot because I just ran this test once before. So what I've done is I've screwed it into a piece of scrap exhaust tubing, and I'm aiming this propane torch at it, up into the pipe. I have a voltmeter connected to it, which is currently reading 137 millivolts. In other words, that's a little over 1/10 of a volt. This thermocouple that's hooked up here is reading temperature in degrees Celsius, and about I don't know, 300 degrees Celsius is equal to about 600 degrees Fahrenheit, which is what we need to get the sensor up to the temperature where it wants to operate. I have the thermocouple connected to the pipe with a radiator hose clamp just behind there. I guess you can't see that, but anyway, it's just clamped right there. What I'm going to do is to heat up the pipe and to the point where we should be up in that 300 degrees Celsius range, 350, 400. And then we should start to see this meter start to change. The propane is, when that torch is running, is apparently actually on the lean side as far as the sensor thinks it is. So we're going to see voltages that are really pretty low once the thing starts running, starts operating. So we're going to see this 72 millivolts maybe even drop lower than it is now, because it's lean. So now I'm going to need to add more propane to it. So what I've got also here is a oxyacetylene torch. Actually, it's set up for oxypropane right now, and there it is. This is the tip. I'm going to turn on the propane and add it in here, and we will see the meter jump up to almost a whole volt when fire starts shooting out of here as the propane ignites. And then I'll try to turn the propane down a little bit just to show you that the meter will go down. The decimal point may be pretty hard for you guys to see. Sorry about that. It's kind of a crummy setup that I have here. I agree, but that's the way it is. Well, you can see it just got worse. So there. I hope you can read that meter, but I will read it to you in case you can't from time to time. And then I won't run this test for a long time because I don't know how long it'll be before things start falling apart. So here we go. This is a funny torch. You have to turn it on a lot to get it to go. And as you can tell, it makes a lot of noise. So we see the temperature gauge is up at 116 centigrade. The voltage is at 170 millivolts right now and rising. Now this meter is starting to drop, 125 millivolts, 120, 118. As the temperature goes up here, it's now reading 160 centigrade. This is going down. Now the temperature that I'm reading is hooked up to the side of the pipe here, which may be behind what the sensor's actually seeing. So now we're all the way down to 44 millivolts. Now the temperature is in around 45, 35 millivolts and so on. This is now reading 200 degrees centigrade. This is starting to get hot coming out of here. Don't want to burn the hair off my arm just yet. Okay, 44, 37, 25 millivolts, 29, 33 millivolts, really quite low, quite low. 245 degrees Celsius. $34 millivolts. Remember, the book tells us that about 100 millivolts, once the sensor is up to operating temperature, about 100 millivolts would be quite lean. And 0.45 volts would be normal. Now we're down to 12 millivolts. This is up to 280. So we're getting pretty close to the range where the sensor ought to be operating. This is 11 millivolts, not very, 6 millivolts, 5 millivolts, okay? So I think, and I'm new to this is a narrowband sensor, remember, that the sensor is now working. So now I'm going to add some propane in here. I don't like this, I'm just going to add it in, right, without screwing up anything else. And right here we already went up to 850 millivolts, very rich. So I'm going to try to gently turn this down and see. Of course that brings the temperature up a lot. I'm going to cut the propane back. As soon as I bring it up, it goes up to almost a volt. It's hard for me to control. 850 millivolts. So at least when I make it really rich and we see the flame come out of there, we approach a whole volt. With that additional propane in there, the temperature here has gone up to 450 degrees Celsius, which is making the sensor glow pretty good. And I don't know if that's a good idea, but you'll get the idea that that's how it works. And notice how quickly it drops back to just 7 or 8 millivolts as soon as I turn off the richness of the extra propane. So that's how sensitive it is to 880 millivolts. Turn it off, 12 millivolts. So if I could just get a tiny, tiny amount in there that didn't catch fire right away on the end of the tip. There was just a little shot of around 400 millivolts, which is close to the 14.7:1 mixture. But at any rate, that's how the thing appears to work, and it does appear to be working. So if I shut the heat off here, there, shut the heat off here, we're back to 2.2 millivolts and what have you. It's still quite hot in there. Let's see what happens if I just run a little propane in there now. See, it goes up to 950 millivolts right away. And of course it's still in there. Maybe we can see as the propane sort of runs out of there. Let's see if I can do that again without blowing myself up. Yeah, I could, okay, it's bouncing around 450 millivolts and so on. So I can, if I monkey around enough, I can come up with about the 0.45 volts that would imply the right mixture. Anyway, this is my little test station for checking out my narrow band oxygen sensor, and it appears to do about what it's supposed to do. The temperatures dropped back to 380 centigrade. The meter is reading 23 millivolts, which is pretty low. And if I let it cool all the way down, which it takes several minutes now, we would see that when the thing sort of quits working, then this voltage will go back up to about 100 millivolts. Don't ask me why, but it does. So there's my test.